WWE changing direction for CM Punk. WWE titles set to change brands. A rare Brock Lesnar spotted in the wild. And more. I'm Ollie Davis, and this is the WrestleTalk News.
Support WrestleTalk!
Get exclusive bonus videos over at patreon.com/WrestleTalk. This video's top story is brought to you by the Wrestling Masterclass. Learn how to get your dream job in the wrestling industry by signing up for a free webinar at WrestlingMasterclass.com today. Despite technically feuding with Seth Rollins since November 2023, CM Punk only properly started a TV rivalry with him on the post-Survivor Series episode of Raw 2 weeks ago. Seth was angry with Punk for teaming with Rollins' arch-nemesis Roman Reigns, and Punk doesn't actually care about Seth. Punk's actually confused why Seth doesn't like him. That's actually the feud, and it's working. But in a shocking new wrestling booking innovation, Paul Levesque is reportedly trying something new. He's going to have a singles match between them within a month, rather than waiting half a year for WrestleMania. Chris Featherston of Sportskeeda has reported on X, Seth Rollins vs CM Punk is currently slated to occur on the debut episode of WWE Raw on Netflix. I have been informed. Featherstone recently reported on how WWE weren't factoring The Rock into their WrestleMania plans, which was corroborated by Fightful. So do take several less grains of salt when digesting this news. Seth vs Punk was supposed to happen at WrestleMania 40 for the World Heavyweight Championship, but Punk got injured at the end of the Men's Royal Rumble match, and his feud with Drew McIntyre took off and lasted through until October. But now Punk is free to feud with Seth. It has again become the bridesmaid story, as Punk's interactions and favor storyline with Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman has given WWE record social media interactions for 2024. Of course, there is a very real possibility that Punk vs Seth will just be the first in WWE's standard 3-match feud, with the rubber blow-off match complete with hellacious stipulation planned for WrestleMania. But given the huge interest in Punk vs Roman, WWE might actually be moving the Punk vs Seth feud forward so we can get to Punk vs Reigns for WrestleMania, as main eventing a WrestleMania has been an explicit character motivation on TV for CM Punk over the last 2 weeks, which was reportedly one of the reasons he returned to WWE in the first place. In the meantime though, it's Punk vs Seth, where Rollins claimed on this week's Raw that they used to be close friends, but Punk ghosted him when he left WWE in 2014. Corey Graves was another close friend of Punk's from that time, and several tweets he made in 2018 back up that Seth's promo was mixing in elements of their real-life heat. Following Punk's second UFC fight, where he lost to Michael Jackson, Graves posted, "Maybe abandoning everybody who stood by your side, even when we weren't supposed to, only to have you turn your back on us, wasn't the right move after all. No anger, only sadness. Seems the fans are disappointed. Maybe you guys should know that dude held my first son before I did because I was on tour and I trusted him. I had dinner with him the week after he quit." And then, in a since-deleted post, the first rule of punk rock is loyalty, and this guy betrayed it all. "I still love you, friend, and I'm sorry you got lost." And then it kind of went into that awkward put down the phone Corey phase. "Hey CM Punk, call me tomorrow, I still love you." And in a deleted reply to someone who advised patching this up in private, "Dude, I've texted him no less than a dozen times. If you avoid truth long enough, you can write your one narrative, I guess." Graves later explained his posts to Fightful. "It kind of shocked me when I texted him about grabbing dinner because we were in Chicago and he told me he no longer had any interest in being friends with me or anybody related to WWE. What really set me off was this week when he essentially disowned the business that made him. My only issue with him was that he turned off people that actually loved and supported him beyond the business, and he never wanted anything to do with us, yet continued to present himself as this punk hero." So Punk and Seth's feud is technically a worked shoot. But Rollins and Graves should really have heat with him for exposing the goddamn business, Phil! Ahead of Monday's Raw, Punk posted a short video on his Instagram stories showing him signing autographs backstage with a TV monitor in the background that showed the Wyatt Six and the Final Testament rehearsing the finish of their match for later that night, where Miz breaks up Uncle Howdy's sister Abigail. But maybe we will have to wait until after WrestleMania to get Punk vs Roman. They're not on the same brands. The thing about Punk vs Seth is that they're both on Raw, which probably means they'll be the Mania feud. It's just one more thing time. WWE have announced that Raw, SmackDown and NXT will have a transfer window in the run-up to Raw's Netflix debut on the 6th of January. It's essentially a superstar shake-up.
I've rebadged it, you fool.
And PW Nexus is reporting that the OG bloodline, so Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman and Jimmy Uso, are all set to move to Raw, where they'll join Jey Uso and Sami Zayn. Apparently, all wrestlers will be eligible for moves, and the expectation is that a title or two will be swapping brands. And one of those titles might be the WWE Championship, as Cody Rhodes was featured backstage on Monday's episode, walking out of Raw General Manager Adam Pearce's office, hinting that he could also jump to Netflix. Rhodes appeared in the dark segment once Raw had gone off air and later posted fire emoji. Incredible crowd. Thank you, Adam Pearce, for having me. To which Pearce replied, appreciate your time, Cody Rhodes. New prediction, everyone's going to Raw. Even, oh no! No! With Brock Lesnar still on the WWE roster page, he is also technically eligible for the transfer window. He has been referenced by name on WWE TV over the last month, which is a big step for a company that erased him from the opening video package back in February, and there are increasing sightings of Brock Lesnar in the wild, mostly at country music gigs. After being spotted backstage in a photo with country singer Ward Davis, an incredibly rare sighting of Brock and his wife, the Attitude Era star Sable, has now appeared on other country singer James McCoy's Instagram with the caption, amazing night in Regina, hanging with Brock Lesnar and his beautiful wife, Rena. Amazing people, hashtag Brock Lesnar. Lesnar was pulled from WWE's plans back in January after he was reportedly referenced in the sexual abuse lawsuit against Vince McMahon. Triple H has said that Brock isn't gone from WWE, and the Wrestling Observer has speculated that the promotion is waiting on their lawyers to give the okay to bring Lesnar back. Over in AEW, the company hasn't had the best end of the year. In just the last week, it's come out that former talent Ryan Nemeth filed a complaint against them alleging harassment. Ray Phoenix has accused them of inhumane treatment, and the promotion's working relationship with GCW has become increasingly frayed. And an underlying cause to all this appears to be communication. For instance, the GCW story is highly confusing. Last month, GCW wrestler Effie had a podcast rant criticising AEW for running the Hammerstein Ballroom so close to GCW running shows there, and said that Tony Khan's dad pays Tony to stay away from him. AEW star Ricky Starks was consequently pulled from his already advertised GCW appearances. But then Fightful Select reported AEW talent Willie Mack had also been pulled from his GCW dates this coming weekend, which was a surprise as nobody knew Willie Mack was even signed with AEW. But then Fightful deleted that report, citing confusion on both sides. Now the Wrestling Observer claims this is how it went down. Mack told GCW that AEW was pulling him from the show. This prompted GCW booker Brett Lauderdale to contact AEW's Sanjay Dutt, who denied AEW had pulled Mack. Lauderdale then went back to Mack, who said he wasn't explicitly told he shouldn't work the GCW show, but AEW's Christopher Daniels, who is their head of talent relations, made it clear that Mack shouldn't go. Willie Mack hasn't been seen on AEW TV since October, where he lost to Commander on Ring of Honor, which I would say means this wasn't a battle worth picking for anyone involved, and it's now made a proverbial mountain out of the molehill. In some slightly better numbers-based news though, AEW's Collision rating was up from the last week's, but was still the lowest rating it's done in the usual time slot for the last 2 months, which might be down to it going head-to-head with NXT Deadline on the same night. And their All In Texas show has already surpassed $1.25 million in ticket sales, making it the company's third highest gate ever after the other 2 All In shows in London. That means it's their highest ever gate in North America. This is likely down to the very high price of the VIP packages selling first though, rather than a high number of tickets getting sold. The show will take place on the 12th of July and is AEW's first ever stadium show in North America. Wait, what's that? What's that music? What do you mean we didn't thank all the people who donated to our Movember page last month? There's another moustache break! No! Thank you so much to Charles, Rob, Jacob, and Matt there, and to everyone who helped us raise money last month. Now go watch Luke and I react to all our WWE predictions we made this time last year. Can't believe Cody actually finished his story, and I actually predicted that he wouldn't. Here's a clip.
Heel Heyman reunion.
Oh!
No backstage issues.
Yes! Another point for me! He's actually been a model citizen. That's a Fightful Select report.
If you replace one word,
No,
yours.
Yeah.
Because he might have turned heel.